Hello, everyone, and welcome to Comic Stack with Judah
and Kirk.
Today, we're going to be talking about some comics in a monthly format for the very, very first time. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be the show that you've seen before, but in a slightly different, changed-up mode, and we're talking about comics that have been released throughout the month of May.
And I think coincidentally, we've only actually missed about a month of comics since we stopped doing this weekly.
Yeah.
So,
that's pretty great.
We have a full, fresh month for this video as the first video of its kind.
Yeah,
so that's exciting. And it's a kind of mixed bag.
Well,
probably on the higher end, but there's some
really
things in there.
Bad stuff in here this month. But we've had some really great stuff in here. But I want to talk about the book that's headlining comics first, Kirk. And I believe that you have that book drawn up for us. So
I do.
What is it?
The creators are Pornsak Pichetsotay and Raphael Albuquerque as writer and artist, respectively.
And this is Absolute Green Arrow from DC Comics.
Yep.
So this was so good that before it released, it already had a second printing, apparently. But
that's crazy.
That's my personal take on this book. Well, we'll get to that. But I was kind of underwhelmed, I'm going to be honest. Kirk, I want to hear your thoughts before I do a deep dive into mine.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it really was just underwhelming. One of the other ones that we have in here that we'll get to a little bit towards the end, I felt had the duty of starting up a whole new thing.
Yeah.
Just like Green Arrow did. And it has to create mysteries, and it has to say, okay, what's going on? Like, what are the stakes? Things that establish the story. This, where the other one failed, or where the other one didn't fail, and this did, is it also didn't feel like its own story as an individual issue.
Yeah.
Like if you're watching a series in an episodic format, yes, even though it's episodic, there is still an overarching arc and plot that goes throughout a whole season of a show.
Yes.
But within an episode, there is its own plot as well. And this, number one, did not have a plot. It was all set up. Now, the thing that I'll talk about later did not have that failing, and I'm excited to talk about that.
Yeah.
But this did, and that was really disappointing. And especially now that I've read the other thing that I'm not going to mention, now that I've read that, it just makes this even more disappointing. Yeah. Because I see how it could have been done. Mm-hmm. And it just simply wasn't. And I think that potentially this is a new writer. This guy has worked on a couple of other things before, but this is his first really big thing.
Yes.
Pichetsotay that he's done. Mm-hmm. And it's a big one to take on, especially with what was set up in the Absolute Evil with the Absolute Justice League.
Yes.
With what was set up in that, like it's a lot to take on, and I don't think it was taken on very well.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. I think this is a mixed bag. Everyone's praising it for its genre change. I do like its genre when it leans into it. I love all the scenes that don't have very much dialogue or monologue, which most of those are just when Absolute Green Arrow kills people.
I like that it is also still taking the darker tone of the Absolute Universe as well for its first issue. Everything that we've read as a first issue, except for Green Lantern, which we've not done a video about yet. I have read like the first 3 issues or so of that. Mm-hmm. That's the exception to the rule in the Absolute Universe. That is like dark and dreary, and everything is bad and horrible and literally dark in everything. That's absolute number 1. Mm-hmm. This keeps that up, and I think that's really good.
Yeah, it does. And I love his costume design. I really like the idea of having Black Canary be the main character, but I think some of her portrayal in here is a little rough around the edges. And I understand the kind of appeal the hype appeal that has boosted why people really like this book, and also the kind of topic it covers that people want that kind of revenge fantasy again.
Yeah.
Against, upper class people that do terrible things, like our good old boy Jeff Epstein, who is basically the villains in this book.
Essentially, yeah.
So I understand that, but at the same time, I think it's excellently drawn. I think Raphael Albuquerque does a fantastic job with what he's given there.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is that well written. Mm-mm. And I think that it could have gone through some revision. I think there's a lot of stuff that could be cut when it comes to dialogue and the monologue. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's too terrible. I gave it 3.5 stars. What did you give it, Kirk?
Oh, I gave it 3.
Okay, fair.
The best part of it, I have to say, is the establishment of what will be at least the first volumes, kind of overarching mystery of who is the Green Arrow.
Yes.
Because we do not know.
Well, here's the fun fact. This is a 1-volume thing.
It is only
This
one
is
volume.
a miniseries, yeah.
Okay.
So, unless...
Now, how many issues would that be?
6.
6, okay.
So, this is...
That makes it even worse because...
Yeah. It's not a good start to a miniseries, really.
It needs to start picking things up faster than that.
I think that this will read a lot better as a trade, as a collected edition, than it does as an individual issue, which is fair. Some stories do... The graphic novel format serves them a lot better. But it's kind of rough that the first issue of your premier super well-selling book is kind of rough around the edges.
Yeah.
So that's our takeaway on it. It's a 3.25
Especially with
overall.
how good, like, generally speaking, the
Absolute books are. Yeah, speaking of that, this is our absolute block right at the beginning of the video.
And we will try to break things into blocks like this.
Yeah, going forward.
Yeah, and at the end of all of these videos, we will also have a dedicated block to some trades that we potentially want to cover if they were released during the month.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and if they're really good.
Yes, they have to be peak in order for us to cover them here on this show. Anyway, moving on to our next Absolute book, we have Absolute Woman. Absolute Woman.
Absolute Woman. But she is an absolute woman.
She is.
Absolutely a woman.
Absolute Wonder Woman from DC Comics. Number 20 from Kelly Thompson as writer and Hayden Sherman on art. This is another fantastic entry ending the season of The Witch. I really thoroughly enjoyed this. I think that the season of The Witch may be my favorite arc, and I know people are going to be like, "Oh, we know you love Zatanna. That's why you like this. That's why you're on here." But that's true. I really like this. I love the way it finishes up. I love what it sets up with Wonder Woman going forward. It's just really peak. I gave it 4.5 stars. What'd you think of it?
Oh,
Kirk?
I would actually have to pull it up. I wasn't thinking of that. I did think, I'll give you my thoughts while I'm pulling it up. I did think it was really good. I'm pretty sure, as with everything else in Absolute Wonder Woman that I have read, I have given it 5 stars.
Yes.
I love Absolute Wonder Woman. It is still so peak. It is still, I think, my number 1 series, including one-shots, including, what would they be? The if they're just like 6 issues. Miniseries, thank you. English is hard, guys. I think it is still my number 1 of everything. There may be individual issues here and there that are better, but as an overall thing, oh my gosh, it is good. This is number 20 we're looking at?
This is number 20, yes.
I did, in fact, give it 5 stars. I love the storyline that was going on with this. I had to catch up for this. I didn't know that we were going to be covering Absolute Wonder Woman until Judah told me about it like 2 days ago, so I had to catch up on like 6 issues?
6 issues, yeah.
Something like that. I gave every single one of them 5 stars, and this was just a continuation of that. It is peak.
And we're going to talk about it more fully, diving into the story and the full narrative of the 3rd arc, Season of the Witch, in depth in its own video. So if you're wondering why, we're
because we have a video, by the way, shout out of Volume 1 and Volume 2.
Yeah, go check those out if you haven't already.
Yep.
Anyway, Kirk, moving on to our 3rd book, it's leading us into a segment that will probably grow over time, but it's probably a small segment for the week right now, and that is
Star Trek.
Star Trek. So, what Star Trek did we read this month?
Technically, theoretically, if we get into some more independent stuff, it could just become an IDW segment. But currently, it is just Star Trek.
Star Trek.
Although I have looked at some of their what they've announced, and potentially
it's probably just gonna be a Star Trek segment.
Well,
let's be real.
There's definitely a lot of good Star Trek stuff coming, but there is also, I think, a few interesting things that I may want to spend money on. So we'll see. Yeah. But this is Star Trek Starfleet Academy, Lost Contact number 2. You may have remembered probably the last Comic Sec video weekly that we had was the first issue, and it was not good.
It was not good
at all.
And so here we pick up
first of all, we have writer Lane Morgan and artist Corrali Espuna.
I don't think this is that badly written overall. I think the writing is fine. I think it's amateur, but that's independent, so it's like to be expected. So if I'm expecting the peakest writing from a independent book, I'm probably wrong.
But you have seen some good.
But I've seen some good
Star Trek.
I've seen some good Star Trek, and I've seen some good art in Star Trek, and that's not here. The cover artist, what's the cover artist on this?
The cover is Corelli Espino, the regular artist as well.
Yeah, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting, because I feel like the cover looks a lot better than the regular book. And we were talking about this earlier. We both think that the art is really flat, and it's minimalistic, but in a poor way that feels like it's unfinished and not like it's an artistic choice.
One of the most important things in Star Trek is the differentiation of the alien species, and many of them is the forehead and nose ridges. Yeah, that's it.
That's exactly
Klingons. Right. Okay, yes, there are other aspects as well. They're usually much larger, but also they're humanoid with forehead and nose ridges. Bajoran, nose ridges. Like everything is about that. We specifically note Genesis Lythe, who in the show is I don't remember what because the show sucked, which is why I started pulling this because I wanted to see if it would be better. I outlined this in the video that we covered number 1 in, but essentially I wanted to see if the same premise without Alex Kurtzman could be better. So far, not really. Maybe one of the main things is the premise of Starfleet Academy is bad. So maybe Alex Kurtzman is not entirely as horrible at directing Star Trek stuff as I have always thought, but also he just also generally is bad. It's just on top of this being a horrible premise, which is probably why that's one of the worst shows I've ever seen. But Genesis Lythe has all these like forehead and nose ridges that differentiate her from everyone else because that's the aliens in Star Trek. Mm-hmm. There's like maybe 2 straight lines on her forehead.
In this, on every page. The art looks really underdone. It could have... maybe the inks are bad. Maybe the main regular sketches that got brought in were terrible.
It's
the
also
colorist may have flattened it. I don't know.
2D.
It is flat. It feels really flat.
I was talking to my older sister about this. She came over to visit me today, and I showed her some of the artwork in this, and she said it looks like everyone's a pug.
It does.
Like their noses are just flattened into their face. Literally.
That's pretty accurate.
She's good at describing things.
Yes.
That's what it is. I do not recommend this. What was your rating?
I gave it 2 stars.
I gave it 2.5. It is just middle.
It's just bad. I think it's bad. I don't think it's middle.
Bad. Okay. I also looked at my comic rating distributions, and it is a standard distribution. Yeah. Just pushed up towards the 4-star, 3.5-star being the average. Yeah. Because I only buy things that I think are going to be good for the most part, with the exception of this, because I was expecting it to be bad. Yeah. And I was right. So relative to my standard distribution, it is on the lowest end of my standard distribution for comics. Is. So it is bad. Mm-hmm. That still makes it just like mid in terms of 2.5 stars, 50%.
It's not.
Don't buy it. I will be pulling at least 3 and 4 because I want to pull 3 to see if maybe it gets better because the pace needs to get picked up a bit. Yeah.
I don't think it will, but
that's my take. Would just want to see. That means then if it does get better, then I have to pull 4 before 3 releases, which is stupid. Yeah. So dumb. Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, moving on to you. If you haven't already, we are about 14 minutes into this video. And you need to hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and the like button if you've enjoyed what we've talked about, and the dislike button if you haven't. And leave us a comment giving us what you've pulled from this past month, what your favorite issue is, what your least favorite issue is, or any reading recommendations. Or
independent
Especially,
I want to see if any of the IDW stuff is like, really good. Yeah. Because I like IDW and I want to support them because they're doing mostly good stuff with Star Trek. Again, this being the exception. Yeah, if IDW has some other good stuff, like I've seen they have like the Rocketeer and some other things that are potentially interesting.
The Rocketeer does kind of look cool. I'm gonna be real. It does.
Okay, let's specify this. Do you think we should do the Rocketeer? Tell us in the comments if we get pretty much anyone telling us.
If we get 2 comments saying that we should read the Rocketeer, we will. Yeah. Leave us just any comic thoughts at all. We're pretty good at responding to comments, and I would love to chat with you about comics in the comments down below. All right, with that being said, we're going to hop into a real quick news segment. I got kind of downer news. Kirk has more positive news.
I do.
I think Kirk has no idea what I'm going to talk about in the downer news segment.
I am excited to see.
You're excited for the downer.
I'm excited to see what you're talking about.
Okay, so there is a boycott of DC Comics that has started as of this past Wednesday. So this is a part of the DC So White movement. If you've never heard of this, there is a website. You just go to DCBlackout.com and you will read what basically is the agenda of this. So it's been 1,202 days since DC has published an ongoing, in-continuity, black superhero-led book. And there are a bunch of...
When is Static supposed to happen? I thought that was a thing.
Static is joining the Titans. That's a team book. This is addressed on the website. It's like, oh, well, Absolute Green Lantern's black. That's not in continuity, you know? It's... So there's a bunch of people that are part of this, and their reasons are justified because the reasons they're pointing out, it doesn't just apply to black characters, right? Like, you can apply this to Green Arrow. We talked about this. This is about, like, it's about the FOC, right? It is about how bad Final Order Cutoff is. Because you have a book like The New History of the DC Universe, The Dakota Incident, black-led book, sold out, went to a second printing, right? But it doesn't have good pre-orders, basically. And that's why...
And it's also just an individual issue.
And it's also just an individual issue, right? And so this... I would say that this isn't just a DC issue. I would say that it's not just a black character issue. I think what they're pointing at is true. I do think it's kind of criminal that we have Static reintroduced and we don't already have a Static series that's a part of Next Level. So I understand what they're getting at.
Yeah.
Now... I do think this is gonna hurt. Like, I don't think this is gonna hurt the Absolute books. I don't think this is gonna hurt like Superman or Batman, because sales for those are just ridiculous.
Yeah, and always will be.
What this is gonna hurt though is the Next Level titles, and that's the thing that I think people aren't pointing out. Is Next Level books are pretty good. I have my takes on Lobo, and I don't think Lobo is really that great, and I think Batwoman's okay, but it still is going to hurt those books, and they're going to suffer from... We have at least like several thousand people stopping picking up their DC books, like overall, right? And that is problematic for DC, who is in the past 2 years just cornered the market, and is on a winning.
I mean, I guess that is the point.
Yeah, it is.
So potentially that means that it would bring change. Potentially DC responds quick enough with some announcements, maybe even earlier announcements than they tend to do for solicitations. So maybe that would mean we should for our new segment that is longer, which is a dedicated video. If any announcements such as those come out, then we will address those in 100% because that would be big if they're announcing things earlier than usual. So definitely something to keep an eye out for us. One thing I want to point out is. As I've been reading through Crisis, which is our next video coming out on the channel.
It's exciting.
So
stay tuned.
Be looking out for that. Is the next video after this. And it's been a lot of reading. But the worst parts of Crisis have been like All-Star Squadron.
Yeah, the legacy characters.
Like where it's big team-up things.
Yeah.
And so I can understand if you're looking at all of these minority characters or characters who are just... Like, even if they're not minorities, but they're good characters that should have stories that are just being thrown in with everything else because that's what makes DC more money, then that is absolutely problematic because as I'm reading that, I'm just hating it. Like, there's too much going on. I would much more appreciate Crisis when it comes out, or when our video, if it comes out, you'll see my thoughts on it. But I would appreciate it a lot more if I had been reading, up to that point, all of the individual characters. But I know there are a lot of characters who don't have any individual stories. Yeah. And so that is actually problematic. That is genuinely problematic.
It is very problematic.
A generality, even if you pull it out of race and out of kind of the political realm that often tends to be in, it is just a general problem that does need to be addressed.
It does need to be addressed.
We will keep you updated as to that.
Yeah, I will say I'm not standing with the boycott because most of what I pick up is DC. I do understand the people that are. And I do think there are some people doing it for the right reasons. I do think there are some people doing it for wrong political attention-grabbing reasons as well. As always, with anything like that. But, Kirk, you have more positive news.
I do. First of all, Star Trek 60th anniversary special coming out in September, I believe.
Fantastic.
I am excited. Yes, September 2nd. This is going to be so hype. The cover for it, look at this, dude. I might flash it up on screen. We'll
epic.
see. It looks so good.
It does.
It has everyone in it.
It does have
from
everyone
all
in it.
eras of Star Trek. I am hyped for that. And one big thing, it's got a lot of writers attached to it. But one of them is Brian Michael Bendis.
Yeah, the legend himself.
This is insane.
It's gonna be peak.
I am so excited for that. We might have a dedicated video for that. At minimum,
Probably.
there is no way that it's not going in our comic stack for September.
Yeah, we might have an entire dedicated video though.
Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Like, 60th anniversary is a big one. So,
it is real big.
That is hype. And then another piece of news is recently, sadly, we had the ending of the ongoing Star Trek that was going on, as well as the ending of Defiant, with a pretty good story in Lore Wars.
Yeah.
Or Lore War, I guess it's singular.
Yeah.
I always get that wrong when I'm typing it into League. But I can't find it on here for some reason, but it is going out. I am pulling it. And it is also, I believe, September. Mm-hmm. So, hold on. Star Trek, here we go. 2026, September 23rd. So that will also almost certainly be in the September Comic Stack video. But I was expecting that to be like January, February, because it was TBD for so long. I was like, there's no way this isn't going into the new year. Nope. Beating my expectation by leaps and bounds. Both of these massive things are coming in September.
And he's excited.
And I'm so excited. And I think this will pick up from where Star Trek Picard left off.
Which is kind of cool.
So we should watch
We gotta get ahead on Star Trek.
We need to finish TNG before we do Picard. But Picard is 3 seasons, like 8 to 10 episodes each.
3 of TNG. How many seasons does TNG have?
7.
Okay, so we're about almost halfway through.
We should be able to get there by September. By the end of September.
If we do 2 seasons a month.
Yeah.
We can, I'm not almost halfway through season 3, so.
But those are both really big things. I actually haven't checked who the writer is for the main Star Trek.
I think it's Cantwell.
This is
it Chris
Cantwell? Christopher Cantwell.
Yeah, that's exciting. I read his Challengers at the Unknown for DC, and we're going to talk about one of his other works a little later when we talk about trades, something that we read that came out in trade this past month. But moving from news, also one last news bit. We were right. Brian Michael Bendis is on Spider-Man 1000, and it's 104 pages. And
dude is just doing all the big things.
He's doing all of the big things.
Star Trek 60th,
Spider-Man
1000, which is 100 pages.
It is.
That's insane. $10 individual issue comic is crazy. You can get trades for 13. Like,
yeah, it's exciting.
That's crazy. Awesome.
It's gonna be peak. We are so ready for it. Or it's gonna be utter hot garbage.
Either way, we're buying it and we are making a video on it.
That's for real. Because 1,000 issues of Spider-Man is a big deal.
Oh yeah. So
technically
it's Legacy 1000, but
it's still 1,000.
I mean, that's the only way you're ever gonna get to 1,000 is if you do a Legacy. So
yeah, real.
Moving on.
Now we're in our next level block, so we're gonna check in on the next level books. These are the books I was talking about. I'm worried that the boycott's gonna hurt. I don't think this one, the first one I'm gonna talk about, is gonna be hurt though, because it is done by a black creator, Jamal Campbell, who is fantastic, by the way. I love his work on Superman, which you just saw his art on that. And he did Far Sector 2. But this is from DC Comics. This is Zatanna #2 from Jamal Campbell as writer and artist. And yeah, I thought this was peak. I'm going to dig more into my thoughts in a little bit, but I want to hear what Kirk thought and has to say about this issue.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Issue 1, also pretty good. And so I was kind of going into this thinking, like, it would be, and then it was. So it kind of met expectations in that way. I'll just give my rating off the bat of 4 stars. Honestly, if I were to give that into a numerical rating, I would say that's, instead of it being an 8, I'd say like 8.5.
Yeah.
So on the higher end of what would be considered 4 stars.
Yeah.
Not quite 4.5, making it a 9, you know?
Yeah.
But like, it was good. It was good. I'm excited to see more of it. I can't wait for Judah to pull it so that I can read it. I can't wait. I'm so excited for that. It's okay. I'm also pulling things that he'll read.
That's true.
You know, sharing, caring, you know, all that stuff. But it was good. I am excited for it. I love some of the characters that were introduced that I don't know anything about.
Yeah.
And that's hype. I don't often like kind of mysticism and like dark side and demonic side of things, but this has been just kind of generally good. And I love the inclusion of the DEO being the
Director Bones.
Yes, but
the
mystical like branch of the DEO, which is getting into the comic a little bit, but
Department of Occult Affairs.
Occult.
Oh, I said oculate. That's
oculate. Oculate.
I'm sorry, that's my bad. I just read a word and that was not how
you read a word, you said it wrong in your mind, and you just went with it.
Yeah. I really enjoy this. This is the most... I think Jamal Campbell has whatever kind of juice to tell Zatanna stories that Paul Dini had back in the day. Because this is peak. Mm-hmm. Like, we're getting great stuff, great concepts. I'm really loving the direction he's going. And his art, like, he's doing double duty, dude. Like, he's writing and drawing this comic all by himself. And... he's doing a fantastic job. The art is insane.
It's so good. The art is actually so good. And another massive thing about this that was in number 1 is in number 2, and it's going to be for a long time because he's kind of one of the main perspective characters. I guess there's 2. The guy I'm about to talk about and Zatanna.
Yeah.
And, we don't have a name for this guy.
Yeah, well,
he is redacted.
Yeah.
Mr. Redacted himself. I love that character because it fits this kind of story.
It does
so well,
and I love his face too.
Like there's a face drawn under that,
yeah,
and they are literally just marking it up over top.
I love it.
Like after drawing it, and I love that. I love that so much. And then his name as well, always being blocked out. Like I love that. I know Judah probably has some inklings or just knows who this is and some more facts about this, but I don't know anything. And it's a mystery that's like really engaging to me, and I really want to know more. And this is so good, so good. Honestly, I might have to change to 4.5 stars, put it at the 9.
Yeah,
but this is good. This is good.
It's 5 stars for me, and that is that's the first one of our next level titles. It is great. If you haven't already, go check it out. This is a super fun time. All right, you want to pick up our next level title?
Yes, which one is it?
That would be Deathstroke number 3.
Deathstroke
the Terminator number 3.
Oh my gosh. I was here in Comic Stack for number 2, I believe.
You were, I believe.
I was not for number 1, but I edit all of these. So I heard a lot about that. I'm looking through my DC. Where is Deathstroke?
Just search it up. Just search it up.
I might not have put it in here, meaning I probably don't have a rating, so I'm going to have to do it on the fly.
Which is great because I already have a rating for it.
Okay. Well, I'll have to do mine first though to make sure that it's not like
higher
affected. Not well. I can't possibly think it's better than Judah thinks it. No way. That's not allowed. Not allowed at all. Guys, I promise I can type. Deathstroke the Terminator number 3. I did. Okay, so it just wasn't showing in there for some reason. We have writer Tony Fleeks and artist of Carmen D. Giandomenico.
Dude, I love... Okay, I'm going to go... I'm going off about this.
He's good.
Carmen D. Giandomenico, one of my top 3 artists at the present moment. I think he's underrated. I think he's fantastic. And this book is showcasing his talents. This is insane. I love the inclusion of Deathblow. I love Deadshot. I love the rules around bounty hunters.
He might have done a variant cover for something Star Trek. Him or someone else.
He also did the art for Absolute Evil.
Oh,
and that's also...
I do remember that. He's good.
He is good. It's so good. I am not a Deathstroke guy. I enjoy, but don't really like the 90s Deathstroke Terminator run. I think he's overused as a Titans villain, and I prefer it when he's kind of
I didn't know he was a Titans villain.
Bounty hunter kind of guy. Bro,
which he is in this.
Yeah, he is. And it's... so good. The mystery's compelling. Tony Fleece's writing is... I don't know if I've ever read another book by him. If you have any recommendations for books he's written, please give me those.
I'm going to look real quick.
But it's peak, and Carmen Giandomenico and him are firing on all cylinders, and I love this book. I don't think people are talking about it enough.
My Little Pony Friends Forever.
From IDW. I'll check that up.
I didn't know IDW had My Little Pony. But
me neither. But
he's done. He did My Little Pony Friendship is Magic as well. He just really likes My Little Pony, I think.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, I do too. So
Yeah.
Some Star Wars stuff. Star Wars Adventures from IDW as well.
Dude, I gotta check that out.
He's done a wide range. There's a lot of My Little Pony in here, actually.
Bro is a My Little Pony expert.
Bro is a
Shout
total
out
brony.
Tony Fleece.
Still more My Little Pony. This is crazy.
Anyway, he's great at writing stories for little girls and stories for grown-ass men. And this is a story for grown-ass men, and we love it. This feels like an 80s something or another. He also wrote for Comics Magazine.
Comics the Magazine.
Dope. I love that. And yeah, 5 stars for me. I read this and I was like, this is the best thing I've ever read ever, you know? Kirk, so that's my thoughts. I'm sorry I was like a little child and couldn't contain that.
Did you give your rating?
It's 5 stars.
5 stars. I gave it 4 as well. I did the same as Zatanna. Zatanna is better than this potentially, but it's really close.
It is, I think they're both 5 stars.
It is really good. It genuinely is really good. I love the story that's still going on. I'm very curious for some of the like back and forth of who done it that's been happening between 1 and 3 so far. I cannot wait for Judah to keep pulling it so I can keep reading it. Genuinely, it's good. It's good. I think I actually do own number 1. So you do. Potentially I could pull if I were able to.
You can get a hold of number 2 and 3. Most assuredly.
Yeah.
Anyway, our final book on the next level block is The Fury of Firestorm number 2 from DC Comics. This is from the GOAT Jeff Lemire and excellent artist Raphael De La Torre. Kirk, you want to give me your thoughts on this first?
Yeah, I love it. It's good. I noted something as I've been reading Crisis and as I have now read this, that he has the exact same costume. Yeah. Exact same costume. He looks the same. And the little floaty bobblehead of Martin Stein is the exact same as in Crisis. Yeah. 45 or whatever, however many years ago. 40 years ago? 41 years ago? I don't know.
It's 40 years
40 years ago of Crisis.
Yeah.
And first of all, that's awesome.
It is.
That is awesome. So, love it. Mm-hmm. The actual storyline, again, awesome. Artwork, oh my gosh, awesome. Thank you, Raphael. It's just good, and it's a continuation of how good it was from issue 1 as well. And this is another one that I cannot wait for Judah to pull so that I can read. Though I do also own number 1, so it's even less for me to find. So potentially I will also be buying this myself. It is very much worth buying it yourself. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's the little refrain throughout of division, reaction, fusion. I love that. Just noting that, and also, dear Lord DC Comics, why do you have to make everything you put out so good? Because my bank account cannot. My bank account cannot keep, doing this. But thank you, and also. I mentioned this in my review, which is on Comic Geek. If you want to follow me on Comic Geek, I'm Sanctified Samurai, and he's Nova Gold YT or something. Yep. It does.
Gabe is Argania, if you happen to want to know what he thinks.
No one wants to know what Gabe thinks. Why do you think you're kicking off the show?
Shots fired. We love you, Gabe.
We love you, Gabe. Anyway. I noted that this is so old school Firestorm, and also I really love the reworking of his origin here and the streamlining of it, and it's just so well done, and I'm invested in Firestorm. I cannot tell you how much, if you asked me a year ago if I would be picking up an ongoing Firestorm book, I would have told you probably not, but this is so good that I am.
Firestorm is actually one of my favorite DC heroes, so... If you asked me a year ago, I would have said no, but that's because I didn't buy comics. But
we gotta do. We had an old scrapped video, which was like a DC versus or Marvel versus or whatever. But we gotta do whatever.
We recorded the whole thing with Oliver.
Oh, with Oliver, way back in the day.
Way back when. I have it.
You have it. We're not putting it up. But
I think it was good in general. The main problem with it was I could not do the visuals with the software I was using back then.
We could probably do them now. But I mentioned that because that video stemmed from a conversation we had about our favorite heroes. And I would love to do a video where we dive into our favorite Marvel and DC heroes. Now that
you reminded me of it, I think I want to go and just post that video.
We can do that.
I have to go see if I actually do have it.
But yeah,
give me $10.
I would be
everybody on Patreon that I deleted, and I'll do it.
I'd be interested to see who your top 5 DC heroes are now, as in comparison to
yes.
So that's interesting.
Have you written down what mine were?
They're in the recording.
If I have it.
We assume that you still have it.
Well, I bought a 1 terabyte flash drive. Well, I got it for Christmas to put all of our videos on. So going forward, I should be able to have everything, but I'll have to check.
All right. Anyway, moving on from our next... 5 stars from me. What's your rating?
4.
Bruh,
it's not as good as the other 2, definitely.
That's bad. Whoa.
Zatanna was the best of the 3.
Zatanna is the best.
Then I would say
Deathstroke is second, and then this. I agree, but I also think all of them are 5 stars.
I think all of them are 4 stars.
I think all of them in their genre perfect
what again, I think maybe Zatanna is up to 4.5. I'd probably put Deathstroke at 4.25 then, and then this at 4.
Okay.
But no, it is definitely that order, and they're equidistant in terms of how much I thought that they were good.
And if you're wondering about any of the other next level books, Batwoman's okay still. It's got fantastic art, and Greg Rucka has a direction. I don't think I'm on board with his direction, really. We're not going to really talk about that because I didn't pull it, and neither did Kirk, and we don't really care. And Lobo is still weird.
You had me read number 1, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I like number 1.
Wow.
So that's a full next level check-in before we dig into our Superman segment.
Which is his own entire segment. Even though it is part of both the DC segment and the next level segment, this is Judah we're talking about.
Yes, so Superman gets his own dedicated time to talk about himself.
Which one was it?
So we're going to talk about Superman number 38 from DC Comics from writer Joshua Williamson with art by Dan Mora. Now Superboy slips into the prime time with some magic going on in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have Witchfire and Blaze and Satanus, which is really funny because in my big overarching read every Superman appearance thing, when I read the day I read this issue was when I read the big Blaze Satanus war from 92, I believe, which is like right before the death of Superman. And so I thought it was really funny that I got to read back-to-back appearances of Blaze and Satanus, who are interesting Superman villains that are never used because we don't play with Superman and magic anymore. And also Witchfire, because she's a magic supporting character of Superman. And Prime's girlfriend, question mark?
Question mark, indeed.
Question mark, but also Peak, because this is cute, and also Prime is my boy. I love him to death, and he's doing a fantastic job. That's my thoughts, Kirk.
Oh my gosh, I love this. This is so good.
It is.
This is so good. I had to, along with Absolute Wonder Woman, I also had to catch up to this kind of like last minute. And so I read a couple issues one day, a couple issues the other, and I finished it up yesterday, I believe, with the last 2, including this one.
Yeah.
And first of all, post-KO, Superman is itself just quite good. Oh my gosh, it is so good. And this was a continuation of that. I rated it 5 stars.
Yeah.
This is good.
5 stars.
This is good. This is so good. I love this. There's not much more to say except that I love this. Art was great.
Yeah.
I loved that I had to flip the That was mine.
Second video in a row.
I pulled the cord and it moved the entire microphone. Thankfully, it didn't unplug the cord because I don't know that I would have been able to continue this recording.
That would have been funny.
Anyway, I loved it's because I motion things. I was doing it again.
He does.
I act like there's a mic or a camera in front of me.
There's not.
There's not. No.
Nor will there ever be.
Well, yeah, because you're a lazy bum.
I actually did ask about that recently.
Don't take no for an answer.
I didn't take an answer.
You asked.
I asked.
Everybody just continue. Every video that you do not see our faces, give an L in the chat for Gabe. I almost said for Gabe. You've said it too many times.
Leave an L in the chat for Gabe until you see our faces.
No. Judah, until we
also shout out Gabe if you ever watch our videos again and you listen to us, because we'd love that.
Anyway, this was good. I loved that I had to literally flip my comic book around for most of a page because it was upside down.
That was so
and
cool.
I love that Superboy was like, oh yeah, I'm immune to magic. And then when he's like, why is everything upside down? They were like, I thought you said that you were immune from magic. I guess I'm not. That was good. Superboy, a great character.
Love him.
Again, with Crisis, man.
We see his first appearances. Yeah.
Yes, I got my major key of him before I read this, actually.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. He remembers Crisis, and then it kind of seemed like from a lot of chatting that was going on that Superman remembered Crisis as well. Now I have finished the main 12 issues of Crisis and all but the final Superman and Green Lantern issues of Crisis up to this point. And I have learned Crisis does not actually just reset everything. It resets a lot of things, but not a lot of people's memories, which is pissing me off a lot, and you're going to hear so much about it.
When we talk about Crisis.
But this actually did kind of start that thought process for me, so that's why I do mention it here. So what the hell is what?
Way to get you thinking, Josh.
But I love Superboy still.
Yeah,
great character. And I loved this character. I loved the introduction of her in the previous issue, and in the comic shop and all that. I love that he's in a comic shop. I love that he works in a comic shop. And then, the cliffhanger of he's the perfect specimen for our witchery. I don't know, whatever she said. And then it not actually being that bad in this one.
Yeah. Also, I love what is the thing where he's like, "Oh, you're gonna come sacrifice some virgins," and he's like, "Well, I don't think you were." That's a pretty good joke.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. I see now that this is part of Reign of the Superboys. Mm-hmm. That was another thing I'm gonna have to read. Okay,
Action Comics is really good.
I remember hearing that
better than Superman Unlimited.
I remember hearing you throughout the past few months saying it's not as good as you were hoping it was overall.
Action Comics and Superman's main book are peak. Mm-hmm. The other two I thought would get a reintroduction of life, but we're not reading them right now because I've read all of the issues so far. I'm
going to just add this to my league
to
read.
Outside of the cliffhanger at the end of the latest issue of Supergirl, which I think is number 13 for Reign of the Superboys, where it teases Superboy finally showing up in Supergirl.
It's a reference to Reign of the Superman from 1993.
It is. You've never read that.
I don't know what that is. I'm just putting in Reign, and then I see Reign of the Superman.
Yeah, it is. Well, you gotta read Death and Funeral for a Friend, and then Reign, and then following Reign you read Return. There's a lot of Superman from the 90s. It's pretty. Most of the early 90s is peak, and it falls off in late 94, which is where I am in my Superman reading list, and it's utter garbage at the present, and I'm really disappointed. It's so bad that I picked up reading Steel.
We have a video to keep recording, though.
We do. Anyway, moving on. That's 5 stars for me.
Yes,
5 stars from Kirk.
It's
Kirk,
so good.
You have our final issue for the Superman segment.
What is it? You're going to have to tell me.
Superman Father of Tomorrow from DC Comics.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. This is a last-minute edition, which is why.
Yes, we literally just both read it before the show.
Because we did not pull it.
We did.
Spoilers. I'm pulling the rest of the series.
Spoilers.
So spoilers for what I thought of it. But no, I just happened to buy it today because local comic shop did in fact have it still.
LCS baby.
And it I was like, I don't know, I guess I'll see. And then I saw that number 2 is after the FOC is after I would read this, and so I was like, that's great. They should always be like that.
It should.
So that I can tell if I want the next one. Stop trying to scam me out of my money because it is a scam. Yes. Stop doing it. I hate it when you do that. Scam. It's stupid. But this was, I was like, okay, number 2, I can see if I like it, whatever. Otherwise, I'm fine with $5 or whatever it was. So Superman Father of Tomorrow is, have to pull it up, written by Kenny Porter, artist Danny Earls. Now, those are not names that I particularly
I know Kenny Porter, but I think I might be wrong. I know him as an artist, or maybe I'm thinking of Howard Porter, who does art for Flash, one of the Flash runs I read. So I don't know if I know. I'm actually going to look at Kenny Porter while Kirk gives his thoughts on this book.
I'll just off the bat give my rating of 4.5 stars. I thought it was really good. It's an Elseworlds, by the way, which this is the second Elseworlds that I've read because I had just literally read. I also bought 1 through 5 or 1 through 6, I believe, of the Immortal Legend Batman. And so I had read it just before this. But this is my foray into Elseworlds. And I said to myself, if this is good enough, I will not only pull the rest of the series, I will also pull the Elseworlds of the Supergirl that was announced, number 1, I think, announced for a couple months away. I'm not quite sure on that. But it was good enough that I am pulling the rest of the series and the Supergirl, which is an entirely different title, an entirely different Elseworld. I thought that the overall plot was really both fun and moving, and I thought it really adapted the regular Clark Kent origin story very, very well for it actually being Jor-El, which is awesome.
It is.
And I'm really excited, genuinely really excited to see kind of where this goes and like what he does. And the very ending, by the way, Judah.
Yeah. The very ending?
Like potentially he's not going to be an entirely 100% what is usually considered as good guy.
I don't think so.
Like it seems like maybe, a touch of imposing. Perhaps.
Touch. Just like touch.
Yeah. So first of all, your market research here, what did you find?
So first of all, I've never read anything else by Kenny Porter. So I was thinking of Howard Porter. Okay. He has written some things that look interesting. Like DC Mech. What is that? And he's got a bunch of independent stuff that looks really cool. He did, I think I've heard of, which is a book where Archie from Archie Comics gets superpowers. And I've heard that was like Eisner nominated a couple years ago. So he's a pretty talented writer.
Yeah.
And
I mean, clearly from this.
Yeah, clearly from this. I've never seen this artist before. I've never read this writer before. I am always very skeptical of Superman Elseworlds because I think that most of them, when you do an Elseworlds, you're trying to capture the heart of the character in another universe in a creator-owned story, right? So it's really hard to do that sometimes because what you end up getting most of the time is like Injustice Superman. This does something with Jor-El, who is always portrayed in at least since 1986. He's always portrayed as the villainous Kryptonian dad of Superman.
Mm-hmm. And also often very minimally.
Yeah, often he's got very minimal portrayals, except for that one arc in Action Comics a few years ago. Mm-hmm. But I'm
just remembering the second Superman movie or whatever it was that like he was, or was it the first one? I don't remember. But when we were getting the backstory and he was like just way too chill about everything.
Yeah, he's like, we're gonna die.
Oh no!
I got to send my baby to another world.
I'm just gonna slowly walk with my baby over here while the world is literally exploding.
Behind me.
I'm just gonna slowly walk over to his escape pod thing and like, oh no!
Yeah.
But I'm just remembering that from this.
I'm so interested in, like, I love the way that they did Jor-El's origin here and the way it is more like Clark's than anything else and the way he is a brother to John Kent and all that stuff. I really love it. And I'm really excited to see where this goes. I gave it 4.5 as well. Mm-hmm. This was one of the peak. We read a lot of peak this month.
Yeah.
We also read some trash, but we read a lot of peak. And with that being said, we have one final segment. 4.5 from me, 4.5 from Kirk.
Yeah. And this is one of the ones that I will be pulling, but Judah will continue to read.
Yeah, so I'm going to be stealing from Kirk now.
We're averaging things out a little bit more.
And one last thing for our hour-long comic video.
That we were hoping would be 30 minutes.
It's okay. It happens all the time. We don't shut up.
All the time.
Yeah. All right. Our final thing is a trade.
Yes. We're going to try to keep trades to a minimum. So where we might include some things that are garbage in the regular issues, if a trade is not really, really good, then we're not going to put it in here because it's not a current release, except that it happens to be a trade.
Yeah.
But the trade for Star Trek Red Shirts came out this past month, and I pulled it, and
it's pretty great. And I'm saying that. I don't like Star Trek.
And so that I want to hear from you first. Once we get our credits, we have Star Trek Red Shirts by...
This is by...
Christopher Cantwell. And Megan Levens.
Yeah.
Were we just saying Christopher Cantwell and something else?
Yeah, he's going to start writing the new upcoming Star Trek book.
Okay, that's right.
Yes. And he wrote some Flash, and he wrote Challenges of the Unknown, which is another thing I read by him.
I knew I recognized it. It's because it was from 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, it was. Or actually, at this rate, almost 30 minutes ago. So that's fair. Anyway, I really liked this book. I don't like Star Trek. I think this is we've documented my foray into Star Trek with Kirk.
Yeah.
I don't really like Star Trek.
And I'm not going to stop. He will watch it until either he likes it and finishes it on his own, or he doesn't like it and I force feed it to him until he finishes it.
Yeah, which I'm gonna finish either way, but so
one is a little bit more aggressive.
One I'm gonna enjoy, one I'm not.
One I will. One he will.
But I love this book. Like, I unironically think that this is maybe the best piece of Star Trek media
in general,
everywhere in the world.
I agree that it is up there.
It is so good. I really love the perspective. I love all the red shirts dying. I know it's a trope, but I love it.
And it's a trope that's just, first of all, it's understood in universe because it has to be. It's also understood in universe because thank you Lower Decks, because everything's a joke in Lower Decks, and so they have to throw that in there. And then now it's in this, they're just, everybody knows it. Nobody cares about the red shirts. The red shirts always die. It's good. Continue.
Yeah, so sorry. I really enjoyed reading this. I sat down and I read this in, I think, an hour and a half or something like that.
Yeah.
I read all 6 issues.
About the same for me.
And I really liked it.
It's also 5 issues, by the way.
It's 5 issues. It felt like 6, which probably explains why I read it in an hour and a half, because it usually takes me 2 hours to read 6 issues. Mm-hmm. But I really liked it, and I can put my finger on it. It has all the things I like about Star Trek and none of the things I don't like about Star Trek. It's got interesting aliens, an interesting conflict, larger political things going on in the background. But in the foreground, we're in the action. We're in what is going on. We get to see the security team and the red shirts just absolutely get destroyed and ripped apart and vaporized and killed in so many beautifully rendered ways.
Yeah. It was so good.
It was so good.
I completely agree, man.
I love at the end that the good guys don't win.
Not at all.
The good guys lose, and there's a spy.
In the worst way possible do they lose. So first,
good.
I'm going to get dabbling a little into that. But first, Judah, your rating for that was?
4.5.
4.5. Okay, I'll give my rating right off the bat.
I'm close to a 9.5, but I can't give it a 5 out of 5 unless it's a 10.
It is 5 out of 5 for me. I don't necessarily know that I'd say 10 out of 10, but like 9.9. Like
close.
But it is 5 out of 5 stars. Dude, it was so good for all of the reasons you mentioned. It is definitely among the peak Star Trek anything to ever exist, and I have seen pretty much all of it.
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine, not as much. I guess I am catching up on comics. I'm catching up first with IDW. I might go back farther to, when Marvel had it and when DC had it and when other people had it. I think maybe Image had it for a time there. But for the moment, sticking with IDW, that's from 2007. And I'm reading a lot of Star Trek comics. I've read some Star Trek books.
Yeah.
I've watched almost all of the shows, and this is high up there on the rankings of Star Trek. You're so right, Judah.
Yeah.
Kind of some of the things that set it apart is, and potential reasons for you to like it a little bit more, Judah, were this is dark.
Yes.
This is gory.
I love that part.
The bad guys win. The good guys lose.
Yeah.
There is so much political intrigue happening in the background, much of which you find in the last 2 issues and the first issue a little bit. And it's dark. And then some more spoiler territory for it is, beyond the bad guys win and the good guys lose, is there's a spy. The spy's been there the whole time. The spy causes everyone to die, all the red shirts to die. The spy lives. The spy, is able to report all the information back to the spy masters, and then is able to also go back and continue to spy. And then when he gets back, this is when we actually get, I believe it was Captain Kirk and crew were the ones that rescued him from this planet at the end. Mm-hmm. And so we did get some side cameos from that. Otherwise, another thing is no characters. It's all original characters. No original, or no. What? All original characters. Nothing that's like super tying it in, except, again, at the end it happens to be the Enterprise and Kirk and, whatever, which is fine. And he says that one of the other people was a spy or a traitor or whatever it specifically was. One of the other people on his team, meaning that person died, gave their life for the Federation, died, and is always forever going to be remembered as a traitor. And the way that this ended, there is almost no likelihood that will ever be rectified.
Yes, and I love that.
It's I do love it too. It's horrible. It's so bad. It is horrible. And that's kind of one of the reasons that this is so good. Anyway,
4.5 stars from me, 5 stars from Kirk. We have one last segment on this really long show, which we're discovering it takes us an hour to talk about these things, where we look forward to next month and give you some highlights about...
We'll have to narrow down what we talk about next time.
Well, actually, probably not. We're probably going to expand fun fact, or we're just going to have shorter segments on each book, which is okay. Anyway.
Probably should do that anyway.
Yeah, we definitely should do that anyway. So, things I want to highlight. Things that we're definitely going to be talking about next month. So, first of all the regulars are coming back. You're going to see Absolute Wonder Woman from me, Absolute Green Arrow from Kirk, and we're maybe another Absolute book. I don't know. I don't pick up any other Absolute books other than Wonder Woman, so if Kirk has one, we'll see. But we're going to be a new edition. We'll be talking about Action Comics in this latest arc. So I'm going to have Kirk get caught up with the latest arc of Action Comics.
Okay. Well, I kind of want to do that anyway because 1100, right?
Yeah, 1100 is coming out. Yeah, it's exciting. And we're also going to be diving into Marvel's big summer event, at least the first issue, Avengers Armageddon. Ugh!
You're getting that?
I'm getting that. We're going to be talking about it too, because it's a big release. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be talking about Dead Man as well. Dead Man #1 is coming out the first week of June. So that's this upcoming week that this video will be released. So if you haven't already, I would check it out, at least the first issue. It's either going to be peak or it's going to be garbage. There's very little in between. Again, we'll be having our same streamlined next level check-ins, Zatanna, Firestorm, Deathstroke, all that good stuff. The Summer of Supergirl special will be coming out. We'll be talking about that. And Superman 39. And yeah, that's all from me for next month. Kirk, what additions do you have to the show or continuations?
Yeah. So for me, I have. We probably could have talked about it for this month, but I bought 1 through 8 of Adventures of Superman Book of L. I'm actually properly pulling that next month, which is really next week. In a couple of days here. So that'll probably be in there. So far, it's been a pretty good series. Judah and I do have some slightly different opinions about it, but that'll probably be on there. Yeah. Potentially, I'm pulling Supergirl Survive. That one
has to be good to be talked about.
Does have to be good to be talked about, and I potentially might not be able to get it because I did it well past the FOC, but
we'll see what happens.
Our comic shop guy
shout out College Comics in Athens, Georgia.
I agree, absolutely. You should go there. Yeah. He might just set it aside for me regardless.
Yeah, he's a legend like that.
Freaking awesome. We have potentially for the trades, we have the Mirror War of Star Trek TNG from IDW Classics. Mm-hmm. We have Green Arrow 2 that I am pulling.
Yeah.
The Last Starship, Star Trek The Last Starship #8. I love that so far.
I have to catch up on that?
Yes, we could have, again, for this month, done #7.
But I have to catch up.
But he would have to catch up first, so we'll do that for next. It'll probably be quite good, so it'll probably be on here. Mm-hmm. Starfleet Academy, if it's not good, which it won't be, then we won't cover it. Then Summer of Supergirl Special and Superman Father of Tomorrow #2. That's literally my entire poll list for this next month. Most of those would probably be on here, if I'm being honest.
And one more shout out to potential trades. We have Batman Sword of Azrael from me. So if that's peak, which it might be, and I also am kind of biased because I like Azrael, we would be talking about that. But that's a peek into what next month looks like. Hope you've enjoyed this video. You can learn more about the DC boycott and what it means and what everyone's saying about it from DCBlackout.com.
And potentially in our Comic Talks.
And potentially in our Comic Talks video, because we're going to unpack some aspects of it. And, check out your local comic shop.
And if you're local enough to Athens, Georgia,
check out College Comics.
Absolutely.
And
it's so worth it.
Give us your poll lists down in the comments below as one last engagement shout out.
For the next month, and potentially, if we can pick things up and read them.
Give us reading recommendations as well, yeah. But with that being said, Kirk, hit us with a bevy shout out.
Ooh, okay. Well, we are trying right now for the first time Twisted Tea Rocket Pop.
Yes.
It's all right.
It's all right.
But shout out if you're having it.
Yeah, shout out if you're having it.
Not.
We are.
So,
yeah.
That's our shout out.
All right. With that being said, good morning, good evening, and good night.
God bless.
God bless. Bye-bye.